GF had sex with a friend. My GF had sex with my friend while we were getting to know each other. I walked in on them kissing on my couch. Day after friend told me they had sex, but when I asked her she said he's lying and she would never even called him on my phone later that day to curse him out. Fast forward about 4 years, we are now in a serious relationship and got into a fight about exes. I said something snarky like, "Didn't you fuck my friend in my house?" She responded with, "Yeah, and?" It's been quite some time since finding out and I still am not over it. I probably ruined my birth mom's life by exposing her secrets, but I don't regret it. I was adopted when I was a month old. I always knew my birth mom's full name because we accidentally received my original birth certificate under the father's name. It was just a 3-letter nickname. I spent years trying to figure it out, and to make a long story short, I solved the puzzle using my brain, Google, and public records. I got in contact with his family and eventually him, and he called me. It was one of the most awkward conversations I've ever had because he had no idea I existed, let alone my 6 other siblings. His story was that they were together for years, but he never knew she was pregnant, except for one time. She would secretly have babies every year for years at a time. When I was born, he dropped her off at the hospital because she was having stomach pains. She gave birth to me, and then left me there. Edit, she put me up for adoption the minute I came out. She used the same adoption agency for all of her babies, so it was like an autofill every time a new one came. In my mind, she did just leave me there as she just walked out and went in with her life as if nothing happened. When I got in contact with her and asked her about it, she didn't give me a straight answer, she just kind of brushed it off. Once he found out he's the father of 7 children, her secrets were exposed. According to my birth father's mother, she dropped my birth mother off at the hospital after one of my brothers was born at her house, and neither of them ever told him. The stories have never made sense, and I've never met these people in person. I don't know if I even want to. I don't know how anyone could be so unaware unless they're lying to me, but I don't know what the motive would be. Why play dumb now? But regardless, whatever personal repercussions followed are justified emo. For example, their families seeing me pop up on 23andMe, they're probably like, "Who DF is this?" They were sneaky but not sneaky enough. My roommate stole my vibrator and now I don't know what to do. My 18F roommate, 19F, have only been living together for a month now as the school year has just started and we are staying in dorms. We have had some disagreements but nothing too big or crazy, like she won't clean her hair out of the drains or we come from very different backgrounds and she makes weird comments towards my family and the way I grew up, but again, nothing too weird. One day I left to go to class and she was alone in the dorm, which was rare due to her almost always being gone. I came back from my class and saw her plug something in to charge, and I remember thinking that it kind of looked like the vibrator that I had with me as I didn't want to leave it at home. I didn't think much of it though, because what business would she have with it? The next day I was cleaning around the dorm and opened the drawer that I normally keep it in and realized it was gone. I haven't touched it since move-in, so I knew that I didn't misplace it somewhere. I dug through all my drawers and bags and looked everywhere to find it and still had no clue where it was. I thought back to the day before and my roommate plugging something in, but I figured there was no way she took it. This morning I woke up and opened my drawer to grab my perfume and noticed that my vibrator was in there. I checked this drawer yesterday and it definitely wasn't there, and also I would never put it there. The drawer is the top drawer of my dresser, which is closest to her bed, so she definitely took it when I was in class and then just threw it in there after. It also wasn't in this drawer to begin with. This is weirding me out because how did she know which drawer it was in? Was she going through my things? Why did she take it? What if she has some type of STD? Do I confront her or not? I need advice. I met my BF's mom 4 days ago. I don't know if I'm overreacting breaking up with him because of how she acted during dinner. My BF and I have been together for 2 years long distance. We met while we were both on vacation. In that time, I have met his family but only through Zoom. We couldn't meet in person due to the intensive degree program I was doing. So in the last 2 years, my BF has been traveling to see me every 2 months. Now that I'm done with my program, I can pretty much work anywhere, and since I work from home I thought I would move into my own place in the city my BF lives in and continue to explore our relationship. I went to look at apartments and then went to meet his family in person for the first time and have dinner. Everything was going well. I met his parents, his brothers and their spouses. His mom was very pleasant until dinner started. His oldest brother's wife had made an appetizer and served it. It was really good, but their mom put the appetizer in her mouth, made a noise and then made it seem like she had to force herself to swallow it. She said something, like "That's a different taste," and made a disgusted face. There was nothing wrong with the appetizer. She then went to the kitchen and came out with the same appetizer and said, "It's good I made the same one just in case." I expected the dill to say something, but she just kept quiet. No one said a word and the conversations continued like it was normal. The mom, with the dill and the other spouses, then helped take away our plates that still had the first appetizer on them, served hers on new plates and told us all to eat. It was the same appetizer, there was no difference. In fact, I preferred the dill because hers had more vanilla. I was astounded that she did this. Dinner continued and it was all made by the mom. She kept asking how the food was and made passive-aggressive comments about certain dishes that were made before by the other dills. I didn't say anything because I was shocked, but after we left dinner, I asked my BF what happened. He said his mom is really passionate about her cooking and doesn't like anyone to outdo her. I said, so this happens at every family dinner, and he said yes, if someone had made a dish before or they make one at dinner, his mom tries to outdo them. He said his brother's wives don't take it personally because they know how she is and that it's really coming from a place of love. I'm sorry, but what I saw is not from a place of love, and the dill seemed like she was going to cry. My BF finally said, she's just territorial about her cooking and other than that, she is very normal. I finally asked him, when did this behavior start, and he said when his eldest brother first bought a serious GF home. His eldest brother is 8 years older than him, so I asked from the time they were dating, up to now, did all your brother's partners go through this, and he said yes. I said, do you think your mom's behavior is bad, and he got a little offended and said no, I just think she is passionate about making good food. I've been thinking on it, replaying the dinner and comments over and over in my head, and there's no way I can sign myself up for this kind of life. My BF and I are starting to talk about marriage and the future and kids, and I am very nervous now. His brother's wives have endured abuse over their cooking since the start of their relationships with their spouse's mother, and no one says a thing. Not them, not their husbands, not his dad, and not my BF. How the fuck is this okay? How can I sign up for this level of insult every time there's a family dinner? If my BF and I reach that stage, can I never cook anything? Will she always try to upstage me? Will she make comments about my cooking? Like WTF. I don't know if I can set myself up to walk into a toxic family situation like this. I would rather leave. I honestly am really considering breaking up with him because of this. I've been married with my wife for 11 years, tomorrow I'll tell her I need a divorce. We met in college and started dating almost immediately. We got married when I was 25 and she was 28. It was both a celebration of our relationship and a way to mark a milestone as we moved to a new city. Less than a year after I found out she cheated. She apologized endlessly, we went to couples therapy, I was angry but also afraid of losing her for good. Through therapy and her doing her best to make up for it, we got through it, and 2 years later we had our son. I loved her, I really did, and she's been an amazing mom, and I truly believe she regrets what she did, but it's eating at me that for the rest of my life I'll be with a person I always chose first, and it's not mutual. Maybe it's a midlife crisis, maybe my medication is messing with my head, but I thought this over for months now. I'm a few years away from 40 and I feel if I don't do this, I'll just be quietly resenting her. I've spoken with my therapist, a close friend I trust, and even checked with a lawyer to get an idea how divorce will work out. I'm doing it, it's what's best for everybody. I really did try to move on, but I can't.